Hi there and welcome to our video. Now, this is the pond at the top of Hampstead Heath, also known as the Whitestone Pond. And as far as many people are concerned, and as you can see you've got all these cars and a bus over there, this is what they think of when they think of Hampstead Heath. Have we got more to show you in this video? This pond is also particularly important because this is the highest point of London, 440 feet above sea level. Today, we're going to be concentrating more on the West Heath, and have we got a hidden surprise for you? So come with us as we go for a walk. Now, one of the things to point out about Hampstead Heath, it is the largest green area in London. And whilst we're only covering part of it today, we will be covering other parts over the next couple of months. And wow, has it got some great areas you can go walking around with your family. Now, to get up here to Hampstead Heath and the West Heath, your closest station is going to be Hampstead on the Northern Line, but it's a little bit of a walk from there, so just beware. But when you do get here, you're rewarded with this. You're immediately into woodland, and actually very, very quickly, it's hard to think that you are that close to central London. Now, the whole area of Hampstead itself and Hampstead Heath is steeped in history, and I'm not going to go too much into it today because if you go over to your podcast provider and put in London Visited, you'll find that very recently we've done a 3-part series on the whole Hampstead Heath area. Today, we want to share with you the views and the chance that you can do to bring your family down here and enjoy the time here at Hampstead West Heath. As you can see, there's loads and loads of woodland, but then it opens up to big open areas as well. So if you're coming down here with the family, there's plenty of places in which you can stop, kick a ball around, have a picnic, whatever you want to do. Now, if you're coming up here during the dry season in the middle of the summer and it's been really hot, not too much of a problem. If you're coming up here in spring, autumn or winter, you definitely want welly boots, because even when I came up here and it had been warm for some time, there were big patches of mud. Now, the path we're going to walk today on the West Heath takes you through to Golders Park, which eventually takes you down to Golders Green, which, if you know London quite well on the Northern Line, is the next station along from Hampstead. As you go through the woods, it's quite incredible to think that central London is about 4 miles away. Now, you're not going to get views of central London from here because it is so built up with the woodland. Because this is London's highest point, and if you want great views across London, we'll be covering that in a future video where we go to Parliament Hill, which is also on Hampstead Heath. As you can see, there really is plenty of space, and the incredible thing was when I walked through the woods, I didn't bump into another soul either. Now, one thing I would really recommend, I got lost several times, so make sure you've got a good map on your phone. You can use Google Maps, Apple Maps or whatever, because that will show you the footpaths across the woodland to get to all of the different parts, especially this next one we're going to show you, our secret spot in the heath. This has got to be a fantastic hidden away part, so welcome to the Hill Garden and Pergola. Now, I'd seen this on Instagram over a few years ago and thought I vowed to get down here to bring this to you. And wow, have I wasted time not getting down here. This is phenomenal. So welcome, we're going to have a walk around the pergola. This area is open 7 days a week from dawn to dusk, so you can come down here pretty much most of the time and get in here and come and have a look. And when the flowers are out like these roses and also the wisteria you're about to see, it really does bring it to life even more, and the smell is incredible. The pergola was the dream of William H. Lever, who is a wealthy industrialist, patron of the arts, architecture and landscape gardening, and also Thomas Mawson, the celebrated landscape architect. The pergola and this heightened area here gives you fantastic views across West Heath and also this garden area as well. And there's plenty of places at which you can walk down the steps and go and walk across and around the gardens and through the trees. As you can see, when the flowers are out, it just adds to it even more. But this is an incredible little find. And again, it's free and it's in London and it's fantastic for all the family to enjoy. Now, because it is so beautiful and it's hidden and tucked away, sometimes you'll find that there's the old wedding and civil partnership that happens here, and also it's used a lot for filming and for photography, although I've not seen it in any major blockbusters. But certainly when I was here filming, I had to cut out several different people who were having different photo shoots taken. Now you may see there's quite a stately manor behind all the fencing. That's a private home, and there's lots and lots of signs there telling you to keep out, and surveillance etc. is in operation here, so it's nothing to do with the pergola, but the pergola goes right around it. I really hope you're enjoying our guide to this part of Hampstead Heath, and especially this pergola area as well. And if you are, do us a favour, will you? Give us a thumbs up, because it'll help YouTube spread this out to more people so that they can love London as well. Now my only warning is if you're coming up here with really young children, as you can see, the walls up here at this height are quite low, so you want to keep very, very close tabs on them. This is definitely one of those great places to come and have a stroll around, and as you can see, there are so many benches put around as well that you can sit and watch the world go by as well, if that's what takes your fancy. Now the pergola was built back in 1905, and one of the main difficulties in building the raised gardens of the pergola was the amount of material that was needed. Luckily for Thomas Mawson, who designed the garden, the nearby Hampstead extension of the Northern Line provided just the solution. So instead of having to bring in the materials from further afield, and also the massive costs associated with doing so, a deal was struck to shuttle the spoil of the underground extension just a few hundred yards to the hill. So when you're standing here, this is the stuff that the tunnels made way for. So if you are coming to the pergola from Hampstead Underground Station, when you stand on the platform, the stuff that used to be there and it was all underground is now here on the hill. There you go, brings it all together quite nicely. As you can see, the walkways in the pergola are quite sprawling, but when you get to one end, you get this fantastic view across the garden. With the pond, this is another fantastic place to come and sit and watch the world go by. With this beautiful garden and the pergola, you can see why we've brought this to you and put it in our playlist of what we like to call our secret London, our places that not many people get to discover, but we want to bring them to you. So I put a playlist for other places of secret London up in the top right hand corner. When you look around the gardens, you can almost imagine an old stately home being here, with all the entertainment happening out here in the garden during the beautiful summer months. Now if you're thinking of driving here, there's a few car parks nearby where you can park, but just have a quick look on Google Maps and they'll tell you exactly where. Okay, as you can see, it's time to walk on, so we're going to go to the adjacent Golders Hill Park, which adjoins by the side of the pergola in the garden here and takes you down towards Golders Green. And if you've got young ones, they're going to love the duck pond here and also the play areas. Not only that, we've got a bit of a surprise here at Golders Hill Park as well. The good news is if you come to this piece of Golders Hill Park, there's a massive cafe here. So if you're thinking about refreshments and keeping everyone happy, then you've got that right here on the doorstep. And this little walled garden here is fantastic to walk around and explore. It's really weird because as a child, this is the sort of area that I used to come to and be brought down by our grandparents. And I actually remember coming to Golders Hill Park, and for a specific reason which we'll show you very shortly. Now, if you are coming down here as a family, you might want to think about bringing some food down for the ducks. Look it up and bring the right food down. I'm not going to say what to bring because I'd probably get in trouble in the comments down below. Also, look at this. You don't see too many of these bandstands around these days. Now, the good news for safety purposes is that the pond is all gated off, but look at this. You can get really close. And at this time of year, you have all the little ducklings. Now, it's because of the animals that I remember Golders Hill Park as a young boy, and the reason for that is that they've got a couple of zoo enclosures, and here in this enclosure you have deer. Then, as you continue walking round, you come to a whole section which is an aviary, and there's all different types of birds in here. Now, this is quite a vast area, and you do have to stand still and really stare to see something in here. Which, funnily enough, I didn't. Now, as you also look around the park as well, over in this part near the zoo area or the enclosure area, you've also got a big children's playground to head towards. And then as I continued walking, my complete surprise was taken with this enclosure full of wallabies. Sometimes the best animals you meet aren't those in captivity, like this absolutely and utterly tame squirrel, and all I did was go, which obviously lots and lots of people must do to it, and it came running towards me. I must admit, I've seen tame squirrels before, but this one came right up and it actually stood on my foot. Right, so hope you've enjoyed our tour of the West Heath here at Hampstead and also the Pergola. What was your favourite bit? Put it in the comments down below so we can see. Now, if you like big open spaces, open parkland and water, then I've put a link to our video that we've done on St James's Park up in the top right hand corner, which has not only the water and the lake, but it has magnificent views behind Whitehall, the London Eye and Buckingham Palace. And if you click on that, I'll see you in there.